I'm not gonna have much to say because I only did the demo stuff. But yeah, Nioh 3, it's great, gooder and betterer.
I don't know. It could end up being a Borderlands type situation. It's yet to be determined. I am now in like the lower part of the map. Yeah, no, I mean it's cool. It's still definitely Nioh, and then there's still that Nioh bullshit just waiting right behind the corner. I've been having a hell of a time for like probably the last hour in this fucking cave dealing with umi bozos, and I say bozos, and it could just be me, man. Like I'm like midway 20s, almost level 30. I got a pretty decent amount of skill points into my main stat for my weapon under samurai, but I just feels like I'm doing chump change when I'm fighting these crabs, dude. It pisses me the fuck off. Can't wait to see more of it.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun, really enjoying like just the gameplay again, and I wasn't expecting a lot of changes right since the last demo, but yeah, there's those subtle new features in there that have been pretty nice. Yeah, the fact that it's like basically open world almost, it's pretty crazy. And yeah, I'm just glad that we get certain weapons are back that just really make it fun. Right now I got the Switchglaive and the Talons equipped, and those have been pretty fun to use. Very anime, and of course the Wolverine style. With the Talons, Gerry, since now there's jumping, right, which is of course the biggest difference, you can do like some air combos with them, and that's pretty freaking cool.
One of the things that probably a little bothered by is I was the only one out of all of us that bought Rise of the Ronin.
Yeah.
So I feel like I already know what the formula is going to be. Well, just based off how the story is explained to you, which I'm not really going to get into right now, but essentially the scheme for the game is they're going to have multiple open world maps. So they're going to have probably like 2 or 3 different world maps that you'll end up going to, and there'll be like technically like different time periods of Japan or like different areas. It doesn't really matter. Possibly both. But in that sense, like you're going to have like a lot of content to explore and go around. One of the things that I don't really feel like I have like a good comparison of is how long it took me to complete each Nioh game. The first Nioh game had so much content, like in and of itself without add-ons. And then even with the add-ons, like there were so many missions that you had to do, story missions at that. And then all of just the side missions that you had to do, the level gaps, because by the time that you get to the end of the fucking game, you had to be well over level 100. In order for you to even get to level 100, you have to be leveling, I think, like well over like 100,000 or 200,000 Amrita just like for one level. So, like it's a lot of grinding, you know what I mean? And that's just like before you even get into like the Abyss and all that other shit. Nioh 2, same thing. Like, so much content. The DLCs are kind of lackluster, but aside from that, the base game still had a bunch of content. And then the difficulty spikes, because you had to do it, I think, at least 7 fucking times, of which I only got up to like 3 or 4 times, and then I just quit playing. Like that shit got really hard, really fast, regardless of whatever you were doing with your build. The thing I'm worried about the most for Nioh 3 is definitely going to be like how much content we're going to get, just based off the fact that everything is open world now. It's not like just linear to the fact like they can just reload an area and then just, add walls and like enemies and all these event spawn points for monsters and shit like that. There was like the level design, which made Nioh like Nioh, different from what like basically the Soulsborne series is. So I just wonder how much they can pour in for side quests and stuff like that.
I mean, it's definitely going to feel easier to do the side quest stuff since it's not like this mini level like you're saying. Now you're just out in the world and then you see the icon pop up on the map, go to it, and then you just run around basically in that section of the map, which it's not the worst. I mean, it definitely makes it a lot easier to just load in with some people online and then just run the whole section.
Sounds a lot like Destiny.
At least the looting aspects like Destiny. Gosh.
By the time you get to the very end of the game, which is like you just scaling off of difficulties, you're going to end up just grinding for like certain equipment, and then for that equipment to have certain skills. I don't really feel like I will get that far into the game. The enjoyment for me is just going through the game probably at least once, maybe even twice. The gameplay loop for Nioh, just involving the difficulty being raised, it's entertaining, but not entertaining for me. Not enough, anyway.
I mean, you can see yourself getting bored.
Yeah, I mean, especially once you get, like... There's a couple of different reasons why you would get bored. Like, I feel like the number one thing is, by the time that you get to the end, if you're trophy hunting, then that probably means that you're going to end up playing all the weapons. By the time that you get to playing all the weapons, you're going to end up deciding on 2 weapons in particular, right? Just whatever ones that you feel like are your favorite, and especially if they like scale well with each other, like in terms of skill. And then the next thing is you're still reiterating the same levels. Like, there's no different variation because of the difficulty. So same enemies, they're just more of like a damage sponge, you know? And then vice versa. Like, you're less tankier. You're pretty much like glass cannon. You know, that's probably like most of the builds. So if you're either running around fighting everything, cool. Otherwise, you're just like speed running through every level, and you know exactly how the level layout is, so you know exactly how to get to the end. Like I said, like, the game is fun. There's no, like, I'm not shitting on it in that aspect. I just think that, you know, like, past the point of you playing the base game, getting everything there is to get, you know, like, at least settling in for whatever you decide your favorites is, and then wanting to, like, build on that is, like, all, like, the best parts of the game. Just once you get, like, to the point where there's nothing else left but to just do higher difficulties, like, you've already grinded the weapon you want, you've already grinded, like, the armor that you want it to look like, you know, like, you just basically did everything that makes the aesthetic and appealing shit for it happen. Like, all you have to do is just play the game. But, like, playing the game at that point is just, it's just not fun for the sake of playing it. I don't know if that makes sense, because it's just so fucking hard.
Once it's not hard anymore, it's pretty fun. And you know me, photo mode's in this game.
Oh shit!
Even though it's a pretty shitty photo mode.
Yeah, it's super shitty.
Let your magic work. You can get some good shots, and that's where I'll spend at least like 20 hours just doing stuff.
So far, I think just for the sake of it being Nioh, this game just sits at like a 7 or an 8 for me. Like, I just have to, like, play all the way through before I decide if I'm going to take away any more points or give it, like, any more points, you know?
It's my game of the year already, off the jump, until something else can wow me, but yeah, this is it for me. But I did play a demo earlier today while Nioh was installing. There is a demo that came out a while ago called Roboto. It's got the sauce, guys. It's... you know, it's funny, while I was playing it, I was like, oh yeah, this is like some like weird... getting into that Adult Swim territory of aesthetics and like what it's doing. It's pretty cool. You play as this chill frog named Roboto. The demo starts off with like all these people that work for like the galactic, or for the company as it's called. And one of the guys is playing Tony. He's playing pool. When he strikes all the balls, it turns out these balls are actually the planets, and so he destroyed all the planets except Earth. And so they send you down to Earth to go pick up the planet pieces. And it's like a side-scrolling collectathon, and you're just like this chilled frog just swinging around and fighting onions, or fighting dumplings and stuff. Chill music. The cutscenes is where the sauce is at, man. It's getting into this weird, like, dithering aesthetic with, like, low poly stuff while you're playing, like, some breakcore. Yeah, so you're a 2D sprite, and then once you beat the boss in the demo, you can unlock costumes. And one of the costumes is, like, a low poly, like, N64 era frog. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
That does sound like a vibe.
And the full game's releasing March 20th of this year.
Just the little like design kind of also reminds me of like Yoshi's Island.
Yeah, it's his attitude that's really serving it up.
You know how I've been seeing a lot of my feed lately? Old school classics. Do you remember a game called Guitar Man? It was kind of like like a musical game, kind of like how Parappa the Rapper is.
Oh, this guy does look familiar.
This game is also a pretty interesting vibe. I was always thinking how they don't really make the aesthetic like this anymore these days.
Yeah, it's a damn shame, man, I tell you.
That game is a niche anime opening. That's crazy. Roboto.
Yeah. All right, Gerry, I got to know where you at in Gintama.
Dude, get out of my head. So I just finished the arc where Hijikata got the demon sword that turned him into a weeb.
Yes.
Fucking cool, man.
Yes.
That's such a good arc.
His fucking alt persona.
The Shinseng. What I loved the whole thing was the cherry on top for the whole arc was when he opened his phone to answer the call. He had an anime girl as a fucking wallpaper. That shit was cut off so to make it look like it was nonchalant. But I saw that. I saw the person he is. The opening at the end. At the end of the arc, I actually listened through because the track was actually a banger. Plus, it pretty much like summed up why this Ito sensei was the way he was, and he's just trying to fucking look for acceptance, I guess. And then he realized he was pushing away the only family he had, which was the Shinsengumi. So now he's trying to destroy them. But I liked it. It was pretty cool. I'm kind of excited about what else is gonna happen. What I really liked. I don't remember his name, but the guy with the headphones and the glasses.
You talking about the manager? The manager for
Bonsai with the guitar,
Yeah,
right?
with the guitar. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what the fucking idol's name is. Uta?
He's like started reading everybody's music. He said Gins was jazz. It was like discordant and fucking everywhere. I'm like, that's funny.
Yeah.
I think I'm at that point in Gintama where like everything is already established. So there's gonna be like a run of gag episodes and then bang, fucking trauma.
Honestly, at this point, I'm more well familiar with a lot of the gags than I am like the plot. I'm honestly okay with that because there were just some fillers, or at least what I assume are fillers, that were just too funny, too good, bro. I don't know how much you could remember because I think there was like 700 chapters or so, something like that.
There is. Yep.
You'll approach it at some point, Jerry, but there's like maybe 2 or 3 that they do about Elizabeth, like that specifically centers around Elizabeth. All of them are bangers, dude. Like every single one of them. I've never not laughed so hard that either my stomach was hurting, like my abs hurt, or if like I'm not like tearing up a little bit.
The movie's coming out soon. It's this month as of this recording. I'm pretty fucking hyped, man. I don't know if you saw the trailer, Oscar, because you're almost there, Jerry, for this arc. And yeah, it just looks so good. Like I just saw a comparison shot, the anime, and then what they did to in the trailer, and it's like, oh yeah, they're just like reanimating the whole arc.
I've been reading more Snow Crash. I've been trying to improve my reading. I've been reading on my days off though, just because like when I get home, the last thing I want to do is read. Like I'd rather do it like on my day off. There's a metaverse inside the world of Snow Crash, which is just future Los Angeles, virtual reality sort of. Like you get a character and you can move around in like a digital world. It's supposed to be kind of like, remember the Futurama episode? Was it? Yeah, remember the Futurama episode when they went to the internet? It's just like that. Everybody has their own cliques and stuff, and they all can tell like who you are based on like what you chose to represent yourself as in the digital world. Like there's some people who have like high tech holograms and stuff or whatever, and then like you see other people who are like black and white who are like on the older models of systems. It gets really technical. So far there's this guy we're following, Hiro. He was gonna meet up with somebody at this club in the metaverse. Something about a new find. The guy hands him a card and it says Snow Crash, free sample, tear to activate or something like that, right? Not Hiro, but the guy who he was meeting with. He tore it up, and then Avatar turned into like static from a TV, right? But it was gradual, and then he disappeared, which is a crazy thing because the guy we're meeting, David, he is like well known as like a top hacker for like throughout all the fucking metaverse. I would say he's infamous, right? A lot of people know who he is, and then the fact that his system crashed kind of made him a laughingstock. Because in that world, like your shit stays on like 24/7. You're supposed to have no problems, especially if you're a renowned hacker. And then if once his system crashes, like everybody's like just, I don't know, his credibility like fucking takes a shit. That card he tore in the world was a virus. So once he tore that up, it was like a drug. Like everything like gets quiet or something like that. And I guess right now we're trying to figure out who made that drug. It's called Snow Crash. So I'm getting deeper into like what the story is getting into right now. There's more characters in play. It's everywhere right now. There's a lot of stuff. It's definitely a certain tone throughout the book. It's very skate punk mixed with like cyberpunk. I'm cracking into this book little by little. I'm almost halfway, so it's fun. I mean, I feel like I would have enjoyed it more if I played Cyberpunk.
You could play Cyberpunk.
That's a commitment. If I finish this book, I might play it. Because I told Grant I was going to play it.
Cyberpunk in and of itself, I don't really feel like it's that much of a commitment, especially because I never beat it. I've started so many save files in that game, but I've never beaten it.
Whenever you're done with that book, Gerry, I have a book to recommend for you. I think you'll like it.
What's it called?
I just finished it the other day. Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey.
Are you that's the book? Are you serious? Wait, are you fucking shitposting
Yeah.
or are you serious?
A coworker was going to read it, and I said perfect timing because I bought this book like 4 years ago. So it's time to read it.
Was that his recent book? His most recent one?
No, I believe he dropped a book sometime last year.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not that one. It's the one before it.
Yeah, I heard him talking about it, and I'm like, I really love to listen to this man talk. If there's an audiobook version, I'm fucking down. Because I'm pretty sure for a fact that he's going to have it.
Someone said, you're doing it wrong, man. You have to listen to the audiobook because it's Matthew McConaughey doing it.
That's good.
Right before I finished it, I said, oh, you know what? I forgot. I got the audiobook for free. So let me just listen to it. I thought he was just going to be reading it. Like as if you're reading a book. But no, he's adding that McConaughey sauce in there. It was great.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. I mean, my fucking list is growing. But if it's an audiobook, I can probably handle that. I was gifted. I think I'm gonna crack, guys. I think I'm gonna read Dune because I was gifted that through over the holidays. Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna actually see what all the hype is out for that. I also have like Ready Player One, so I heard it's.
Ooh, I have that book.
Yeah, I
too.
heard it's a lot better in the book than the fucking movie, like always. See, then I'll start Words of Radiance because that's gonna be a commitment.
That's book 4, right?
Yeah, that's the longest one.
Nice.
Yeah, so I have pretty much I have the queue ready to go. Trying to fucking read more, get this. So I was gifted a book light for Christmas, so I'm trying to use the hell out of that. Yeah, so
Nice.
trying to crack into these books, trying to be a learned man in 2026.
Yeah, Green Lights was pretty cool. It's just Matthew McConaughey's memoir up until COVID, basically. This dude, man, he went on some journeys.
Oh yeah, didn't he get arrested like way back in the day?
Yeah.
But for,
Yeah, he got arrested.
For what though? Because I remember it was kind of funny.
He was celebrating something, and so he went on like a 2-day bender at one of his houses, and it's like 2 a.m. Been drinking, been smoking or whatever, and he's just banging on these bongos, just like locked in this flow state. And then the cops broke into his house. The big key also is that he was naked the whole time.
Hell yeah, that's the thing I would like. That's hell yeah.
And he kept they kept trying to put like pants on him or like a towel, and he's like, nah, man, leave me like this. This just proves my innocence, man. And they're just hauling him naked around town. And then when they went to go lock him up, someone went to go give him pants. He's like, not doing it, dude. He's like, no, trust me, dude. You probably want to wear pants in there.
I've only heard him talk on podcasts, and it's so good, bro. When he, yeah, man, it's just there's certain people that he automatically clicks with. The fact that he came on twice, that I listened to him like on more than one occasion on multiple fucking platforms. All right, dude. The books for sure like intrigued me. I just never found the actual push to get to them. So I mean, I don't know. This one I might actually fucking look for it.
I think my favorite interview with McConaughey has to be Between Two Ferns. To be honest with you, that's probably the only interview with McConaughey I've ever seen.
Oh, but dude, when he gets real, it's insane, man. Just imagine how he talks. He doesn't fucking change. He has so many like, dude. He uses the English language. He uses like similes and fucking hyperboles and all that shit we fucking thought we learned in school, but then forgot everything. He uses all of it, bro. It's like poetry. It's like an art, bro. Listen to him talk. Like, I'll send you a couple of links of his interviews because they're worth a listen to.
I'm pretty sure we all saw it in theaters.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
It's time.
Iron Lung, baby.
I love this guy. See, you guys. Markiplier's my guy. Okay, fucking the whole reason I watched the fucking Freddy movies was because of him. Stay with me. Hear me out on this, okay? This moment, the moment I wanted to go see it would have been like on par, kind of like excitement. Like I'm gonna go see a fucking movie made by this guy. I'd give me that same kind of excitement if I were to watch a movie made by Kojima. If Kojima made a movie, like this is the same hype it would be for that when I want to go see it. The excitement of going to a fucking movie again, man. Because every time I've gone, it's like it's just a fucking roll of the dice. I don't really know what's happening. Well, except Silent Hill, because I was kind of like, but even then, I wasn't even excited to go.
It was gonna be a piece of shit.
I wasn't even excited to go to Silent Hill, dude.
You went in with the mindset like this is not going to enthuse me. Like I'm not looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to making fun of it.
Exactly. Fucking Iron Lung made me excited to go see a movie again. It wasn't bad. I told my mom she would like it because she's into those kind of like monster movies, but like big monster. I'm not like Dracula and all that stuff, but like Anaconda.
Basically like Jaws and shit, where like the monster is the thing in the movie.
It gave me kind of like sci-fi movie vibes a little bit, like Sci-Fi Channel. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah, dude.
It has to be pretty good because, to be honest, guys, that's not my kind of movie. I don't really enjoy those movies that much. Like they're cheesy monster slop.
Oh, sci-fi.
Yeah. Like I don't really vibe with those movies too much. Maybe after a fucking couple of drinks, probably, but like just to sit down and watch it, I'm kind of like, I don't know, man. So if I did not feel that way about this one, but actually like felt the same sort of vibe as the movie, but I actually wanted to sit through it, pretty good. I liked it. It was more than I expected. Honestly, yeah, more than I expected because I knew it was just gonna be fucking Mark through the whole movie. It's just one guy in the sub and then like a voice talking to him. It was pretty good. I want to see my sister. I'm going to keep saying it's pretty good because it's pretty good. I went with my sister and then we both saw it and we just started making like Markiplier jokes. Like when he was sitting at the command and it was like a shot from his back. I'm like, he's streaming. He's streaming right now.
I'll tell you, my favorite line in the movie was right at the beginning. Like the very second line is just like, let's get this done. And I'm like, oh, you made my tip wet a little bit with how deep that voice was. He's just like, all right, let's try. Seeing that movie without seeing the game or anything like that, it was exciting. Like in and of itself, like there were, let me reiterate it like this. So for these kind of movies, there are parts of horror movies where the lull element that a character or characters might have to like just discuss or elaborate plot, like whatever. I feel like these moments where we would see like Mark and like these moments of lulling, like him in the submarine doing like the coordinates and stuff like that. A lot of that really put me on edge. It made me feel nervous almost the entire time. And like it wasn't really so much just the theme of the movie or anything like that either, but it was really more or less just like the direction that he was going in. Again, I really feel like if I had seen the game first, like I wouldn't have been so enthralled by it all. Like it wouldn't have hit me as much as it did just going into it blind.
Yeah.
It was scary in a sense when things got quiet, because when things got quiet, I was like, things are about to get worse. Like significantly worse on almost all sides, you know what I mean? And I'm like just kind of dreading what's gonna happen and what the fuck is up with the stupid fish monster.
Whoa. Stupid fish monster. Show some respect. This is some eldritch horror shit, bro.
The part with the lights, dude. I mean, like I get why it's an angler, like, right? Like that whole thing with the light.
Oh yeah.
Man, that took me so far gone, dude. I wasn't like freaking out in the sense like I was scared, but I was freaked out. Like I was like, oh dude, you are so fucked. You are so utterly fucked. Like just to be in his shoes in that point, I'll be like, I wouldn't even try anymore, dude. I'm fucking done, homie. I don't really think the ending made sense to me though. That couldn't have been the first. Obviously that wasn't the first submarine, but apart from that, I don't think that was also the first submarine that's been destroyed that way. like just being crushed by the monster, you know, because there is even the part where he talks about the other one, the SMS-8 or whatever it was called, and it's just like, what could have made a hole as big as that? Like, what does something like that? And it's just like, okay, like it's implied that if that thing didn't just self-explode like that, then it had to have been, you know, the fucking monster, right? And the recording, I feel like, also adds emphasis to that. With all of that said, if this thing has eaten submarines before, why is it that Marks is the only one that blows up? I don't know what he did different. Just rewatch. If you like, I don't know if the scene's going to be on YouTube or nothing, but if you rewatch that last part, as soon as that submarine explodes, that thing's head goes bye-bye. Like the teeth, everything goes flying in pieces. Really, right before everything was about to happen, he was trying to make his way back to the front of the ship, like in the seat. And before he could even get there, he touches the pipe and then he loses his arm. And he's being attacked at the same time by the monster. So like my interpretation of what was going on there was, you know, that he was basically being attacked. Like he didn't end up ramming anything or doing anything. He was just kind of waiting for it to happen.
Did you guys make that connection when he lost his arm?
What connection?
That creature that he kept seeing, like in his peripherals and stuff.
Him?
That was Markiplier's character. It was Simon. Yeah.
No, I didn't, to be honest.
Oh, that makes so much sense. That's what he turns into.
Yeah, because as soon as his arm ripped off, I was like, oh, there it is. Because it's the same arm that the creature sitting in the chair was and stuff. And it's like, this makes sense. He was helping himself. Yeah, I enjoyed the movie. It's my kind of movie. Very minimal cast. And it's really all about the character. And like a very small space. You're just trying to absorb everything so you can learn as much as you can with the very limited stuff that this movie is telling you. I know nothing about Iron Lung. The only thing I knew was like it's a sea of blood, and like that's really it.
That's probably the best for these kind of movies.
Yeah, like I wasn't expecting it to get to the eldritch horror stuff, which doing some research about it and like watching a bunch of stuff from Markiplier is that like that was kind of like him and the creator for the game were like going back and forth on ideas to expand like the lore and stuff, because when he first made the game, he's like, oh yeah, no, I don't like it's mystery is a big key for this game, so I didn't really dive deep into stuff.
I thought like the whole thing with his character's background, like him being like the convict because he's like a space terrorist or some shit. I had a good idea that was part of the actual plot in the game, but then when I actually saw the game and then saw like a couple videos on just like the synopsis of the plot, and it didn't really revolve around the character at all, I was like, oh, that's a pretty cool background that they gave him. I kind of feel like he did a good enough job to the point where I was like, I kind of wish there was a little bit more to where he was going here. Like we had a little bit more time over the 2.5 hours he was already giving us, just so that I could see more of whatever the fuck was happening with the people who fucked him over. I think it was cool that we got like one scene where he's like trying to disarm the bomb in Filament Station, but I was like, fuck, I don't want to see the whole thing. I want to see the whole thing, the whole flashback.
No, dude, no.
That's not how it goes. The story's about now.
I know. It teased me so hard, bro.
That's how you
what
ruin
I'm saying.
stuff. Yes.
But I will agree with some of the normie audience of how you could probably shave like some 15 minutes off this movie. I don't mind a slow pace, but yeah, this one, like, yeah, you could feel how slow it is, and it really hurts the movie more than others because you're only in one location at all times.
Yeah, I can kind of see that too. You definitely have to know your audience, at least when it comes to this particular kind of movie. In and of itself, it was really successful just because we know it's Mark. And
well, yeah, the big audience for this film is going to be his fans. Yeah, and you know what? Markiplier, he can act a little bit. I think the only biggest downside for the film was like the audio. It wasn't always as at the right levels it should have been at.
Oh boy. So as you mentioned that, like there is just all the times where like all of the sounds going on in the ship are just happening and he's talking. Even when he's like drowning in the blood, he's trying to talk and say something, and I'm like, dude, what are we even doing right now?
Oh, no, that stuff is fine. That's intentional. No, sometimes like when there's not a lot of noise happening and he is talking, like you can tell this is like an indie movie because of how it sounds.
I think I would. I think I would watch it again. I think, given the opportunity, I would definitely watch it again.
The soundtrack was stellar.
Yeah, there's a lot of good music. It wasn't even about it being subtle. It was just like pretty much scary all the time. Like a lot of the music helped push me on edge. Again, a lot during like as like the music fades when it gets into the lull moments. I was like, oh, that's a good job. Like in the direction of itself, and as also like the score. I kind of wish they had a Doom rip though, like at least one just really heavy synthesized thing, like either at the end or at the beginning. Just something about Iron Lung is so metal. It just needs a Doom synth.
You guys dove into the lore?
I watched the Let's Play, but I was like kind of in and out, to be honest.
I saw a couple.
So the way I interpreted why SM8 was so important was because whatever what they talked about in that's recorded in the black box, it's like, oh, they were able to somehow synthesize the ocean blood and use it for something, and that's why these eldritch creatures got upset and destroyed the ships.
They didn't really cover any of that from what I saw. It was more talking about like what the emphasis of the blood is and the secrets that they were looking for and stuff like that.
Because like the two biggest things in the film, like those two girls talking in the ship and like they're getting hysterical because it sounded like they were trying to drink water made from the blood, and that would like solve a lot of problems like back at home base and stuff. But I'm assuming they didn't like really refine it, and that's why they were getting all crazy. They were being the voices for these eldritch beings at that point. And then that part towards the end when Markiplier gets up and another blip pops up and there's more O2 in his ship, and that's when like all the blood was oozing in. So it's like, oh, so there's got to be something connected to this.
That was pretty. That's a cool moment. Just the fact that you get more oxygen just because it's blood in the fucking. Is that how it works?
Well, no, but I'm saying like because it's the blood, it's the ocean blood. Like, oh, there has to be some kind of like life thing in here or something. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of mystery, and like that's really cool. You know, I like that kind of stuff because then we get to those flashback stuff, and it's like, are they in freaking space? Are they on a space colony right now? Like,
oh.
So, like, are they not from this planet or whatever, wherever we're at, you know? You could go so many directions.
They're looking for nutrients, right? They're just like, well, the last of the human race is looking through the galaxy to fucking either find another planet or looking to fucking stay alive or something. But all there is like, during the quiet rapture, it just like spawned oceans of moons of blood moons, but actual moons that are blood, made of blood.
No, it's just the one. Well, from what the videos I saw is essentially out of nowhere, the quiet rapture.
Rapture.
Every planet, every star is just essentially gone, and the only thing that's left are any man-made things. So the space stations and just these random moons that appeared. There's only 4 moons, and only one of them has the blood ocean. Essentially what it is since the rapture, there is like basically a handful of people left, and out of those handful of people, they're just splitting off into factions. They just want to basically ensure that they can survive, because obviously everything is scarce now. They don't have anything to make more of things, right? And that was the point of them going into the Blood Moon, because they feel like if there was an answer to anything as to how we can still make something, nurture something so that we have more, where we can make more, like food, air, so forth and so forth, then something has to be there. Because why is it out of 4 moons, this moon happens to be full of blood? And that was like the emphasis on what's going on. Part of the lore was that SMS-8, or whatever it was called, is pretty much one of the submarines that wasn't piloted by a prisoner. It was piloted by researchers. So it was like a group of people trying to figure out what was happening. It wasn't the normal circumstances. And obviously they did come across things. They were able to figure it out, whatever the fuck it is, that the blood is what's viable, but also at the same time will fucking ruin everything, right? So it's like the whole thing is just fucked. I feel like that's essentially the secret, right, that everyone's looking for. The whole thing with the monster in and of itself is just like, obviously it's some sort of like psychic or telepathic monster. And to me, I think the very interesting thing about this movie and the monster in itself is like, think of an anglerfish. Think about what we're talking about. A real anglerfish in real life, right? It attracts its prey using the little light, right? Because it makes it think that it's just some smaller prey. And then when we take this light that it refers to in the movie, right? Like, oh, we need to look to the light will help us. Is like, to me, it's just like, okay, that's essentially its little bauble, right? Its little thing to attract you, right? But it's all, instead of it being a little representation of light, it's that voice that he hears. It's that girl who did exist at one point, right? The one that's talking to Mark while he's going crazy. It was really cool for me to, at least my understanding was that when the fish consumes you, like, you're just part of the fish. Like, it's a whole symbiotic thing, right? Like, it's not just her voice there. It was just using that particular voice to talk, which I thought was nuts. Like, that scares the fuck out of me, but that's also super cool. And I was so down with that shit. I was like, you're dealing with basically the apex predator. Like, you're dealing with the, I'm not going to say necromorph because necromorphs don't talk, but you know, you're basically dealing with that kind of catastrophic entity is what I'm saying. You know, like, you're fucked, dude. Like, it's so bad, you know. It's great.
Well, alrighty, gamers, we're going to wrap it up here for tonight. Did you see Iron Lung? Of course you did. Would love to hear your thoughts, as well as others. And you can send those to unversedpodcast@gmail.com, or you can just comment wherever you see these episodes or posts, and we'll sure to bring them up on future episodes. We'll see you there.
Tune in next time when we talk about secrets. Shh.